Welcome back to ELIMU. Thank you very much indeed for keeping it right here. We do need you to talk to us, so give us your feedback and your sentiments about this show. Our SMS line is on the screen, 22766, and also our social media platforms. Our Facebook fan page is ELIMU. Our Twitter handle is at ELIMU_Nguvu. Now here at ELIMU, we are still traversing through the world of art, taking a look at the artists within the creatives economy. Earlier on, we talked to a student artist who has so much ambitions and expectations from the market. Now we are talking to a practitioner, an expert who is already in the market and living from art, just to see if the perspective of the students is the same as what is in the market. He will be telling us about his journey, his challenges, how he conquered the challenges, and what he has learned that has enabled him to remain relevant within this very competitive and elusive market. For all the artists, stay tuned. You want to know what is out there for the artists.
My name is Eric Sticky Mureithi Wangeshi. Sticky is my artist name. I've been an artist for the last, 3 years and a couple of months. Turning 26 in a few days. Studied media, I dance, I do graffiti, I make a lot of noise, I try to sing in the shower, I have a terrible voice. Well, I'm a human being, a bit shy. And above all, I just love coloring my world and creating, because I think it's the duty, I just feel it's the duty I was given by God when I was created.
So where did your journey with art begin?
I've been a weird kid, so mostly I think it was the calling in me maybe. So, like I grew up with a single mom who appreciated art at some point. So she bought me drawing books which could be filled up in a day. So I used to like black people's pages from books so that I could draw. So it's been that thing that I just want to do it, because then again it's part of me. It's cool. It was a way of just me getting away from everything the society is about and be myself. It's that thing that makes me me. I studied UCOP country, and like their information is not so much. The only information you get is like from newspapers. You see Masai Market paintings, and then you see the Kina Patrick Mukabis and the who is who in the art circle right now, and then you try to strike a balance between the two. You see musicians, sometimes you tend to think you can run away to that side of art. And then, when you grow up, you feel, well, I have to look for something that's gonna take me closer to art. And media was the only thing. I had an option to do IT, because then I'm a bit tech savvy. So when the chance to come to Nairobi came, to do media, I was like, wow, this is gonna take me to the art world. And on my way to my college, which was KIMC, I saw the Go Down Art Center, and I felt, wow, this is heaven. This should be the place. First weekend, I just went to the Go Down, met Patrick and other artists who were working down there, and I was like super amazed. Like you are there with your nice drawings, pencil drawings, and people saying, oh, you're the dopest artist I've met. Then you walk into a studio, you walk into an art center, like there's just so many people, these acrobats, these musicians, dancers, artists, sculptors, and you're just amazed. You feel like I am steps behind, and I have to like work hard to get there. 3 years later, I'm still an artist. I don't know where my earlier drawings went to, but I think I'm on a growth curve. It's gonna continue until the day I die. Because I do believe in this life, there's nobody who is a master of self. It's just a title, but mostly we just keep on learning. Even old people learn from us. We young people learn from them. The younger generation still learns from us. So the trick is just to keep on pushing. And basically, where I've gotten to, I know I don't know anything. I just want to learn. I just want to become a better person each and every new day. It's graffiti is an art that was born out of rebellious people. It grew in the 60s in Philadelphia and some almost different parts of the world. The earliest recording though of graffiti was when early man was just doing stuff in caves. Graffiti, if we say graffiti is anything on the wall. So in the 60s, 70s, 80s in Philadelphia, the trains were being painted, somebody this is simple taggings. I was here, blah, 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 coloring with, bad quality spray paints. It moved to Brooklyn, New York, and then people like immigrants going there to the Americas, so like, wow, we can paint trains. When they go back home, they started the culture in Europe. And then we, as Africa, and we just learned from our Zungu brothers, we just learned and picked up the culture, because then again you realize that we're youthful, and then we are always rebellious, just want to do something for the adrenaline, and for the sake of, I want to be a rebel, then it has that energy. So, well, I grew up listening to hip hop, and one of the many elements of hip hop as a culture is graffiti. The reason as to why I saw some shoes by Ed Hardy. Ed Hardy is like a legend in the tattoo world. Then again, he just asked himself, well, I'm a good tattoo artist. I've mentored people. I've been around the continents, learning styles and coming up with my own style. What do I do next? So he went into fashion, and then came up with the Ed Hardy brand, working with different brands like Converse, Nini. So I came across a pair done by Ed Hardy. I tried to replicate it because it looked simple to me. It backfired. Being the stubborn kid I was, I did another pair and another pair. After that, stopped trying to be Ed Hardy and all those people. Just started doing crazy stuff and experimenting on shoes. And well, now I can say, if you say the word sticky, people will always refer you to, oh, that guy who paints shoes. Well, the thing I understand about our parents is that they always want the best for us. And then for them, they grew up in a system where you have to get employed, slave, and then earn a living, then retire, buy a car, buy a house, build a house, and then die. So basically, it's just that art is just something so new to like most of the African society, or the society that we live in. So people are always cautious. It's always being afraid of the unknown. We are being afraid of the unknown. And well, if you are a human being, I think that should not buy you from pursuing your dreams and getting that thing that you love. Because then again, what is the purpose of the talent if you're born with it? It wasn't to just become a sufferer. Like God gave you that talent so you could make good of yourself and praise Him with it. So why not? The purpose of education, ELIMU ni kuondoa ujinga, like you get to, it's just knowledge, basic knowledge. The rest is up to you to just follow. But then again, most of us just decide to stick to the already rehearsed ways, rather than try following your own channel. It's not easy, and it's not hard as well, because then again, the Kenyan society, the society that we live in, is very, very much knowledgeable up to how like the way things are running. It's like everybody's knowing. So you get into the arts, you will face rejection, and you will face people who are always willing to welcome you. People are always looking for new stuff. They hate the old and rehearsed and the mediocre stuff. So it's hard because you don't know how, you don't know where. Those questions, you don't know how to answer them. When, you don't know how to price your art pieces. You don't know where to get your color to sell your art. Which kind of clients you want to deal with. You don't know how to work really. Like people, when you're starting, you're just working haphazardly. If you find a picture, you draw it. You find inspiration, do something else. But you pick at that point where you just start working in series. There's a certain subject that I want to focus on. It's this and this. I want an exhibition so that I can show this particular series. There's a particular type of work I'm working on. There's this other type of work I'm working on. Hey, I'm a young artist. I'm trying to make a living off this thing. So please buy my art. Those questions, they really get into you. That some people just flake out even after 3 months into the arts. But discipline is key. Talent, of course everybody is talented, but then again, discipline is key. Discipline is what keeps you going the extra mile, trying to slave those hard times when you don't have money, you don't have food, you don't have materials, how to remain in the games. I have this drive that keeps me going, this drive to just need to create. Whenever I'm frustrated, I just try to create, because then again, when I create, I feel like I'm good. Just learning to control yourself, learning to keep on pushing is mostly what matters. The discipline is key. Talent, well, everyone has talent, but then again, what are you gonna do with it? One thing I learned is that when you're down, like super down, when you feel like you're down, you're low, you're broke, you feel like you're useless, well, you should be glad, because that's the lowest you can go. It's always going up. It's like the most important lesson I learned from him yesterday. It was yesterday at night when we were having a chat with him. So basically, he just told me that you have to keep taking up the challenge. It's not about you getting to your comfort zone and saying, hey, I'm this type of artist. You just leave that to historians. Historians are the people who go to school to study how to classify people, but as an artist, you're never in a category. The only category you can be in is you yourself, so the need to create, always create, keep creating, because we learn a lot from the Renaissance and the artists who were there before. Some did some terrible things, some just lost it somewhere, some were frustrated, some committed suicide. Great artists like Van Gogh committed suicide, and it's just because he just painted a lot and didn't sell much art for like 10 years. So we're always trying to avoid to be that kind of artist, but we're inspired by them. We want to create amazing art pieces like them, but you always want to avoid such situations where you commit suicide, you go overboard and do that. You just always want to be happy with what you're doing. The first challenge is always about cash. It's always about how to make a living of it. It's always about how to get materials, where to get them. Art is an expensive line of work. The materials, this paint, the canvas, the guys who make frames for you, the price is just so sky high. But knowing how to balance, like if you make money, how to like separate cash for art, cash for living, cash for entertainment, is just basically, it's hard. It's really hard. It's one of the major challenges. Also, the other challenge is acceptance. Like, not many people will accept you. People will see you as competition. Other people will see you, this is just a young man with bad hair, doesn't have direction. Kazi yake tu ni kupaka tu rangi. You're like, no, it's talent. Come on, why do you want to hate on something that God gave me? But if you are disciplined enough, if you are keen enough, you need to know that those challenges are there to make your story. Imagine a success story that doesn't have a struggle part. It's boring. It's 5-minute story. But you want to have that. It's like nature's way, or rather, God's way of telling you. You need to have a story, so that at a particular point you're gonna inspire people. And you're gonna have to talk for more than 30 minutes. So you have to give those struggles. I used to walk to the studio from I don't know which which corner of Nairobi, which was the longest distance ever. I used to fail to have fare in the evening, so unalala kwa stage to sometimes nyumba ilifungwa, I had to sleep at my friends. Those things. Yeah. These are some of the things that you should really turn them into inspiration, so that you create your next pieces. If you talk to people like Eric Wenaina, who's like arguably one of the best musicians I've met and the coolest people I've met, he will tell you that the songs he's writing now, most of them were inspired when he was struggling, upcoming young artist. You're frustrated until you think of something. Sometimes mankind has a way of getting inspiration from the toughest of situations. You just turn them around and you just find, well, the toughest of situations are just sharpening you to be a better person. Well, art is a good source of income, in that you are your own boss. The only thing to beat is always the deadline if the client has given you a commission. But as when you're your own boss, you can control your own time. You can wake up whenever time, you can create whatever time it is that you want to. You don't get tired. You get fulfillment from that. You get joy from doing your artwork. You don't get tired. You can find me on Facebook, Eric Sticky Mureithi is my handle. You can find me on Instagram, Stick1 is my handle, Stick_1 is my handle. I'm based at the Railways Museum. We're open like from Monday to Monday. We don't take holidays, we don't take off days. We're just busy creating. So you're welcome any day.
That was one rich conversation with a practitioner artist, that is an artist who is forming part of the creative economy. He's earning a living out of his art and he has no regrets for it. And what matters also in this conversation is he had a word for the students who are going to be stepping out into the market with certificates, having studied fine arts or any other course that has had to refine their talent and their abilities. The market is not easy, and what really matters is the abilities that you had or that you have. Having talked to Ras Karori, a student at Kenyatta University studying fine arts with so much ambition and a lot of dreams, it really enlightens each and every young person outside there that as much as you do need education to refine the talent inside you, at the end of the day, it is what you can do and what you have inside you, the discipline and everything else that you will have learned will fall in place in line with what is inside you as a person. And as he said also, the sky is the limit. You are the only definition and classification of what you are. This has been ELIMU Nguvu. I have been your host, Cora Zansifan. Do remember to give us your feedback and your sentiments on our social media platforms. Our Facebook fan page is ELIMU Nguvu. Our Twitter handle is at ELIMU_Nguvu. And the SMS line, which is on your screen, 22766. We do value your feedback.